What's up, guys? Back at it again. Little haircut. Let's dive into it, shall we? Cue no intro. Gonna have a sip of coffee, gather my thoughts. This might be a wild ride. Yeah, definitely got to think about what we're going to talk about here. I want to talk about good and evil. OPEX? What the fuck's that got to do with philosophy? OPEX, you dropped an F-bomb. For sure no one's going to watch your channel. YouTube's not going to allow it. We're going to dive into it. Good versus evil. Since the beginning of time, pre-civilization, pre-history, there's always been good and evil. Always. There's a million ways I can go with this. My mind's sporadic. Let me have another sip of coffee and let's gather our thoughts here. Because I just want to just unload information at you and go boom, 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 boom. Heavy hit, sporadic mind. No real sequence. But let's make it a sequence. Let's understand what we're going to say here. So good versus evil. Good. Take one of those O's out of good, you create God. God is good. Evil. You add a D, you create devil. The devil is evil. God is good, devil evil. And this is every religion. This is not even religion. This is just like, you can see it. You can see evil. You can see good. You can pick up the vibration. Good and evil is a vibration. We'll get into further detail, hopefully at the end of this video if we get to it, about what that vibe comes from, what it is, etc. So, in Genesis, right, there's the serpent, Satan, devil, comes in a form of a serpent and wants to tell the humans to create original sin, basically. The temptation was that they were going to get knowledge, that they can eat the forbidden fruit from the tree of life. And the serpent comes to them. They eat the fruit, or at least Eve. The point is, they eat the fruit. And they obtain knowledge. Prior to that, whether you believe it or not or whatever, but prior to that, they were just basically a robot. They served a function. They didn't really have free will. What Satan did was give them knowledge. It was a sin. Now they have good and evil. They recognize right away that they're naked, and they were like, oh, we gotta put on clothes. And now to this day, if you believe in it or not, it doesn't really matter to me. To this day, we still have that, oh my God, I'm naked, I gotta clothe up, right? Even if you're standing at the urinal and someone's right next to you, you kind of don't want to show them the dick, right? Like, it's like, I don't even want to show you. I mean, you don't want to show anyone, right? But the point is, that evil gave us the knowledge, according to the Bible, which went against God. Now, I mean, we can go on to all different types of cultures that depict the serpent, right? The serpent has always, through almost all cultures, whether it's Chinese culture, whether it's, Central American culture, the serpent brought knowledge and wisdom. And, I mean, just look at, Central Americans, the Aztecs and the Mayans. They would go up on the freaking pyramid, right? And they would sacrifice babies by the hundreds or whatever. I mean, that's evil, right? We can see that as evil. That's not a good thing. Even if it was fulfilling a purpose, a better purpose. we can look at it and be like, that's evil. Bloodshed on humanity is evil, right? All right. Well, so the serpent, evil, and God, good. But God has also wanted the Jews to go out and spread their seed. If you read Kings or any of the Old Testament or in the Torah, the early Jews, God's people, went on to like murderous sprees. The tribes of Judah, they all essentially murdered everyone, had tabernacles where they would sacrifice. God even asked, I believe it was Abraham, to sacrifice his firstborn or one of his children. So, and I've said this in a video before where I don't even know, I don't have to say that part actually, never mind. So, the serpent has brought knowledge where God didn't want knowledge. God has also destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. You go against with what I say, I'm going to kill you all. You do what I say, and there's going to be milk, honey, etc., right? So, is it really clear what good and evil is when you're looking at the context of things? Okay, well, do you want to know what you're doing, or do you want to robotically obey authority? Was Satan the serpent wrong by giving humanity knowledge? Well, it went up against God, where God didn't want it, right? And I know what a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, you're talking about religion again. You're a philosophy channel. What the fuck are you doing? But it's important. So, the yin and yang. You can't appreciate love if there isn't hate. You can't appreciate the sun if it's there every day. You got to appreciate it. You appreciate it more if it's been cloudy all week and all of a sudden the sun comes out. It's like, yeah, I feel great. But if the sun's out every single day, let's say Southern California, and every single day it's sunny, that next day when you wake up it's sunny, can you appreciate it? You know that song, only know you love her when you let her go. And then they also say, only miss the sun when it starts to snow, etc., right? Like, you can only appreciate the light if you've seen the darkness. There's a yin and yang. Now, even though evil has tried to enlighten you, and God has tried to enlighten you, it's almost like you need both evil and good. You need it. Do I hate Satan? No. You can't be good if there isn't evil. It's literally, it can't happen. So, you need this paradigm. You need this yin and yang. And I think actually I have talked about this in a video before. I've made a video, Light and Darkness. I should actually watch that, because I don't remember what I said in it. Hopefully I'm not reiterating a lot of those points. And I don't think I am. So, not just today, but all time, throughout history and prehistory, the world has been run by evil people. Evil people. Genesis, they would talk about the Nephilim. that would come down and, I mean, they were the fallen angels. And they essentially ran the world, let's be honest. It doesn't say that blatantly in the text, but if they're coming down and they're basically angels, and they're breeding with the daughters of man, first off, if there was an angel, which I would perceive as a demon, that wants to breed with my daughter, there'd be red flags, there'd be questions. It'd be like, first off, no, right? Fuck no. But the fact that they were able to just breed with the daughters of man and essentially man didn't stop it showed me that they had a hierarchy. They were in control. They ran shit. Whether they had ox, right, like the pharaohs, and they just ran shit. They had technology or whatever, right? Like, a lot of people think that the fallen angels are the ones today still, whether it's the offspring of these people or whatever, running these UAPs or UFOs. Might be right, might be wrong. I almost went too far. Alright, so again, I gotta think about how I'm gonna word this, or else I'm just gonna throw information at you. So there's a yin and yang, there's a purpose for evil, there's a purpose for good. Neither of them basically, you need both. If you're just told all day good things, like reaffirming things, like you're beautiful, you're great, blah, 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 what's going to strive you to do anything better or greater? If you're playing basketball and everyone's saying good things about you, you're the best, you're amazing, blah, 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 you're going to probably take days off because you're already the best. But if someone says, you should have went for the layup instead of whatever, right? And people are critiquing you, a lot of people look at that as bad. But that critique is constructive. It's going to create an idea to betterment. Right? So if somebody's telling you you're the best all the time, you're probably not going to do anything that's going to be the best anymore. You're if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So whatever regimen you're doing, but people are studying you on tape, right? They're studying you, your antics, what you do in certain situations. We're talking about basketball right now. If you're the best basketball player in the world, people are studying you. They're going to find out that there's a hole in your game, and they're going to exploit it. So this works everywhere. You're a YouTube content creator, you're a UFC fighter, you're whoever, right? You need the good and the bad. You need good things talked about you, where you are doing good, and you need the critique about what you did wrong. And you need to have a mind to say, I'm going to use the good and the bad to my betterment. Things happen to you in your life. Not everything's gonna be fucking roses and rainbows and unicorns. There's going to be death in your family. There's going to be bad things that happen. I put it like this. You either learn from those bad things, or you're doomed to repeat those bad things. You need to understand there's a possibility of bad things happening so you can avoid those. That's how basic preparation works. You prepare for a scenario, an event, something that's going to happen in your life. You prepare for it. Whether there's a small probability of it happening or not. A lot of people get a generator because maybe their electricity is going to go out, or they'll get a wood stove because maybe their heating might not work during the wintertime. So they prepare. It's smart to prepare. A lot of people don't prepare because they're so used to good things happening. So when something does happen, they're not prepared, they're left behind, they could die, right? The stakes are raised if you don't prepare. So you need at least a fundamental idea of good and evil and preparing for those scenarios. If you don't believe, okay, like shit hits the fan, right? There are going to be people who have prepared for this, even though it's not probable. I mean, it is probable, but in most minds, it's like, oh, that won't happen in our lifetime. But then COVID happens, right? And what are you going to do in that scenario when everyone turns into zombies and can't think for themselves? And they silence you, and they take away your freedom of speech, and then you can't buy or sell goods without the mark of the beast, basically. What happens then? Well, you didn't prepare. So you're either going to take the mark, so you're going to obey evil, and then I believe in karma. I believe if you do wrong into others, etc., right? Like, I believe in karma, and we can dive into that rabbit hole, but I'm going to make this point real quick. If evil wants you to do something, and everyone around you's doing it, and then when you don't do it, because you have a conscience, you have the Holy Spirit, you have some way of guiding you, some principles, some morals, like a moral compass that's guiding you through things, and the evils of the world want you to not do those things and obey them, mutate your genetics, put you in a database, basically track you 24/7 in everything you're doing, and you want to go against the grain, well, you better be prepared for that, or else you're stuck getting the mark, the vaccine passport, as Bill Gates called it. You're either going to get the vaccine passport, or you're going to have to prepare. How are you going to get food? If you can't buy or sell without the vaccine passport, if you can't travel without the vaccine passport, as Bill Gates said, so I think I should be able to say this on YouTube, because that's the goal here. That the goal here is total domination over your life. I mean, they're using AI for this, if you guys haven't paid attention. But anyway, the point is, you're going to have to prepare. So you're going to have knowledge of possibility of evil happening, so you can prepare for it and survive. And it's not, so you might be a woman out there. Your whole life, you were daddy's little angel, right? Like, you were daddy's princess. You got everything. You never had to lift a finger in your life. Everything was just brought to you. Food's brought to you. Everything's brought to you. You can just do whatever you want all day. You've never had a job before. You're just living so comfortably. Well, what happens when shit hits the fan? To this person, never experienced those hard times, and their hard times is someone said something about me on social media, and that's their hard time. When people like me have been homeless half their life and working hard, you know, months without a day off, you know, so I'm somebody who does experience hard times. I want to avoid that. I want to make sure that doesn't happen for my children. What is she doing? She's probably going to marry a man who doesn't prepare or know how to do anything. Doesn't know how to change a light bulb herself versus, or the person that she's marrying, right? So you're picking a worse mate. What's happening to this person when shit hits the fan? She's just going to take the mark, right? She never experienced the bad times. She never had to struggle. She never had even a concept that was a possibility. So she's going to struggle. She might die if she doesn't go along with the vaccine passport, right? So I believe it's good to struggle in your life. You need stress factors in your life. When you don't have those, you're not going to be a stronger person, you're going to be a weaker person. See, even if you wake up every day and you say, I'm going to just work out, I'm going to work out real hard today, I don't have any plans, but I'm just going to work out real hard. After your workout, you're going to feel accomplished. You're going to put your body through physical stress, which is also going to put your mind at stress and your spirit. If you're pushing yourself, you're going to be at stress. But ultimately, this is good. This is helping your blood pressure. This is helping everything in your life, physically, mentally, and spiritually, by putting yourself through stress. So when something happens and then you have to put your body at that kind of stress again, you don't fall victim to a heart attack, right, or cardiac arrest. You are going to be able to get through it. So it's good to understand the bad things in life so you would set your mind up to prepare for those bad things. So just working out is preparing yourself against the zombie apocalypse and everything under the sun. So it's good to put your body at stress. Stressing is good. Seeing evil. A lot of people might have a bad upbringing, right? Like parents are drunks. Father beat their mother. You see that as a child, you see how bad it can get. That can either, again, you either learn or you're doomed to repeat. Seeing bad things in your life, being a part of bad things. Look, I've had guns cocked back to my head before. I got robbed in the hood when I used to live in the hood. I had cops ready to shoot me, shaking, ready to shoot me. I've had that happen. Therefore, I'm avoiding those situations from ever happening again. There are a lot of people that don't have street smarts. I have street smarts. More than people that live in the street. Because I lived in the street and still technically did up until a few months ago. So, what you've done in your life, good and evil, that has happened to you, is just to teach you. When you see, okay, somebody, again, I got robbed in the hood. Young kids came in, put a knife to my brother's throat, put a gun to my head, put a gun to another person's head, and ran shit at a party I was at. That's going to teach me I'm not going to deal with these motherfuckers anymore and how to see it properly. Therefore, I have learned from that experience. No 16-year-old punk's gonna ever fucking rob me again. Straight up. Never happened again. Because I learned everything in life is in here. And your physical, mental, and spiritual health alters this as well. So you want to be at your peak perfection. That's going to lead to happiness and survival. Alright, so I went through a huge tangent. We're 24 minutes into this video. Evil runs the world. I'll go back to this point. Evil runs the world. Let me have a sip of coffee. And I was going down this rabbit hole, but this one might be a whole video in itself. Since the dawn of time, evil has run the world. They say I'm trying to remember the exact quote, sorry. Basically, power inevitably corrupts, right? And when you understand that, people who want to rule other people aren't doing it for positive things. Almost never, I can't even think of one time in history where, okay, that cop is totally, never. Power inevitably corrupts. I can't think of a ruler in history that has used their power for good. So, just look at it like this, right? When you're a ruler, why are you ruling? Why do you want to rule over others? So you can control them, manipulate them. You can get money out of them. You can get power and fame. There's reasons to be a ruler. I'm an anarchist. Rule number one in anarchy, no rulers, and that can bring us to a better society. You rule yourself, making you more of a responsible person, right? Like a stronger person even. But when you're being ruled upon, it makes people weaker. It makes everyone turn into followers instead of everyone their own leader. I believe when you have multiculturalism, it brings different ideas to the table. I believe in it. I don't believe just this way is the right way. I believe there's more than one way to skin a cat. I think there's more than one way to tie a fishing knot. But when you have a ruler that wants you to all have one culture, one disease basically, one way of thinking, one hive mind, it destroys creativity, it destroys art, it destroys belief, it destroys ideas. And what I've come to realize is when someone's in power, not even just one person, it can be a group of people. If a group of people or one person's in power, they will try to destroy any type of freedoms you have. They want more power over you. They don't want anything critically said about them, which is evil. If your ruler is doing something you don't like or something that's directly affecting you, your family, your community, whoever, and you want to speak out about it, they don't want that. So they want to stop you when all you're trying to do is better the world around you. As the freedom of speech guy, you want to better everyone around you. All types of speech is good in my opinion. If you say bad speech, it makes everyone recognize that's bad speech. That's a good thing then. If we can all say that's bad, that's good. Not that we all agree, but we can all see. But when you want to silence someone, you don't really understand why you're silencing them. You just say, hive mind, that's bad. Stop that person from talking. And that's evil. Because again, without the bad, you can't see the good. Without seeing the bad ideas being trumped by good ideas, you don't know what's really good or bad. If you don't see debates going on, that's bad. When COVID happened and you can't debate on it, that's bad. That's where evil is triumph. What we need is both good and evil in speech, in ideas, in everything. Multiculturalism, different ideas in the fucking spectrum of thought, ideas, and something we can discuss and debate. Because when you don't have this, and you have rulers saying what you can and cannot talk about, again, rulers are done by evil. These are evil intentions, always evil intentions. There is no such thing as a good ruler. I even thought about this in depth, that even if I was to rule the world, me, who I look at as the most innocent, beautiful mind on this whole planet, no offense to anyone else, that even I could be corrupted. Not to the extent of anyone that ever ruled before, but like, it could even affect me. And I may make decisions thinking I'm helping the world, and they're evil, or at least slightly evil. And I think of myself as the most purest mind, trying to help everyone else. Philosophy will save the world. I'm trying to save the world. But even could corrupt me. And when I have my mind thought of, if it's going to affect me, it'll affect everyone. There is no such thing as a good ruler. It doesn't exist. If you want to rule over people, that's not a good thing. That is evil. And when you're putting it into the realm of evil to tell you what to do, that's bad. But you need both good and evil in the world so you can make proper decisions. If you don't see evil and you're just seeing good, you don't really see the good. You don't appreciate the good. You don't even know what love is because that's all you experience. That's why we need evil. You need cloudy days, or else you'll never feel the greatness of the sun. You won't feel it. You won't experience it. You won't understand it. So in our speech, it should not ever, you should never be told you can't say this, you can't say that. Because when you do, that is evil. That is stopping you from seeing what's evil and good. You need to see it, or else you won't understand it. And this goes with everything, not just speech, but speech is very important. If someone's saying you can't talk about this, and it's done by rulers, it is evil. Why? What's the intention? And they always want to put it into a glamorous state, like if you talk about this, it's going to hurt this. But the truth is, if you talk about this, we will understand this better. When you're told you can't talk about this, and this is the only information you're allowed to talk about or hear from this specific type of person, anointed by the ruler, there's an evil design behind it. So let's talk about it. All right. The world is run by evil. Even when Jesus was tempted in the Bible, he was brought to high places by Satan, to the highest places. So it signified even in the Bible that the rulers were evil. The highest places were that of the depths of hell, basically. When you look at the people who run the world, look at entertainment, look at music videos, right? And you see the Baphomet goat head, and then you hear people like Katy Perry say that they sold their soul to the devil for this fame. You hear in Hollywood that they had to suck this guy's dick, Quentin Tarantino, just to fucking get in the movie. When you hear things like that, it's true. It's run by evil. And you ever wonder why, for example, do you think I can make a movie? No. They specifically make it so what I put out there could never be seen. But they will have people that already know the scripts. They already know what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say in movies. And if you listen to these people that are in Hollywood, they always talk about there's FBI agents and CIA agents there to make sure that certain things are said and not said in a movie. Why is the FBI and CIA on the set of movies, Hollywood movies? When you realize they're all in it together, all the evils of the world, the most evil, they're the pedophiles. And this isn't just like an Alex Jones figure saying this. This is me saying this. Someone who is humble and want to expose the truth, like an Alex Jones. But I'm not the crazy conspiracy guy. I have to put things through reasoning and evidence for me to even talk about it. Now, we all know there's evil in Hollywood. We all know there's evil in the entertainment side. We know there's evil by the corporate agenda. So corporations essentially run everything. Bankers run everything. Government runs everything. What you see on TV by the Disney Corporation, all of that is evil. Disney itself wants to put it into the minds of even children. Your father's an idiot. And if you look at any Disney channel, do yourself a favor, watch the Disney Channel. 5 minutes, you'll see that the kids run everything. So a kid picks this up, and then they want to be the head of the household. How evil is that? They never learn anything. It's destroying, like I said in my last video, it's making humanity devolve. Humanity and mankind's devolving. While they purposely make it happen through all these institutions. You go against the grain, you go in jail. They have the whole thing set up that good people like me aren't able to have a platform. And if I do have a platform, I get 20 fucking views a video. Yeah, I get it. My videos are not entertaining. I get that. But there's got to be a reason why all of a sudden 2,000 fucking subscribers in like less than a year, and then the 7 years after that, the 8 years after that, my subscriber count has gone down. How did I go from this to this? Then all of a sudden my subscriber count goes down. Think about it, guys. How do I only get a few views per video? Why is the algorithm hating on me? Why is YouTube taking down all my videos? That is evil. That is censorship. Who runs YouTube? Anointed by the rulers. Who runs the country? Do you think Joe Biden runs the country? Obviously not. He can't even ride a bike. He is not running the country, and I think the majority of Americans already know that. They know the president holds no power. They're told when to sign, what to say. They have a script. So they go up to the podium, read off the teleprompter, and they're told when to sign for the ritual and to convince people that he has some type of power. Sign this into effect. He didn't write that up. He had people write that for him. And he was just told when to sign. The people that really run the world anointed him. The people that really run the world anointed everyone in power. Do you think we're going into Iraq for any other purpose other than installing an anointed leader, an anointed government, an anointed idea of how that government's going to be run to control the people? You think they're doing that for nothing? They've been controlling the world for thousands of years. Evil has run the world for thousands of years. It was totally legal to have slaves thousands of years ago. Not only was it legal, it was so part of your life. Every part of your life had something to do around slavery. Pharaoh had slaves. Everyone had slaves. It was normal. That was evil. Now there's something called modern day slavery. Modern day slavery is essentially you're collateral for debt. Everything's on a piece of paper. You're not a real person. All your God-given rights, whatever the fuck that means, it's imagination really, but your God-given rights don't exist because your parents gave you a birth certificate, which gave you the rights of a corporation. Now you are a corporation for collateral for debt to the banks. All right, so I'm losing sun here. I don't have much time. I guess you don't have to see me. But there's good and evil. All rulers are trickled down. Everything you see on TV is controlled by evil. This world's run by evil. You know, there's so much evil going on through transsexuals. I just saw that Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan podcast, or at least the majority of it. And there was a part in it that made me think straight evil. And according to Joe Rogan, he said if he was Satan, that's what he would be, I guess, or do. He said that Joe Rogan said he met in the green room this tranny that was a dude, transitioned to a girl, and took hormones and shit to be able to breastfeed his kid, or her kid, whatever you want to say. And if you just think about that scenario, how evil is that? Not only is it confusing the youth, not only is it giving evil a platform, it's just straight fucking evil. That's the new normal. Can you imagine tranny AI robots? That's gonna be the future. It's gonna be fucking weird. They're already making you a fucking weirdo. Alright, so I gotta think of a way to cut this short because I gotta get off here and we're losing sunlight. So let's do this. Evil and good is necessary. Knowledge is based on both good and evil. You can't just have good knowledge. You need evil knowledge. Just like Satan gave humanity knowledge, and Satan is the light bringer. Lucifer is the light bearer, the one who carries the light. Jesus was also considered the one who carried the light. The Illuminati is the one who carried the light, aka the Statue of Liberty, who some people think that is a transsexual. That's Lucifer that had boobs with the crown, carrying the light. Knowledge is both good and evil. You need to accept that evil exists and don't be scared of it. It's just part of fucking life. I see these people, they don't know how to handle evil. If you don't understand evil, you're going to be scared of it. You're scared of the things you don't understand. What I encourage you to do is be knowledgeable of everything. Good, evil, everything. Because everything has its place. Everything has a reason to be. And if you're just stuck in one way or the other, that's going to consume you and that's going to become you. But no matter how good you are, if evil comes around and you don't understand it, you might get vibes from them and everything. But if you don't understand it, evil can easily take advantage of you. This person's young and innocent, and this person's going to come up and take advantage of them. Because they see how innocent and how blind they are. So you need to understand there's good and evil, and you need to be a part of both good and evil. You need to take hold on. You need to take ideas from both good and evil. To become a better, stronger person.
Now turn right and then immediately
Shut
turn
up.
right.
So, essentially what I'm going to get at here is that there's good and evil in the world. It's okay. Recognize it. Become a better, stronger person. Good and evil is more than just a vibe. It's everything around us. Evil's power wants to corrupt good, innocent. Evil for thousands of years have been taking advantage of the good follower. They want to control you. If you're evil, you can't be controlled because you're just going to do whatever you want. You're going to just whatever. But if you're a good, obedient slave, you'll take the vax. If you're just doing what evil says, how are you even better than evil? I'm a rebel. I've been born a rebel. I have the Holy Spirit in me, and I'm a rebel. I have factors that are in me that have bettered me from good and bad experiences in my life. I know how to recognize good and evil. I can experience, I know when to rebel. I see the evils of the world. When the government tells me to jump, I don't say how high. I fucking realize it's evil. So I think it's good that you put yourself in, not just go to church every day or every week and say, this is the good. Put yourself in the darkness. Experience the darkness. Understand where it comes from. See it, experience it, and bring light to the darkness. Carry the light into the darkness. One little flicker of light makes darkness flee. So that's what I want to instill in you guys. A lot of people are just good, going to church, you're just a good person. You need to go into darkness, or else there's no point of having the light. You need both. You can't rebel against evil if you're just evil or just good. You need to understand both. You need to experience both. And then you can't let it infiltrate your heart, your soul, and mind. So that's about it for this video. Become your greatest version. Understand good and evil. Prepare, right? And I believe that makes you the strongest person possible. I think if you're just going to church every Sunday, you never experienced the evil, you've never had a gun to your head. I mean, I'm not telling you to go out and pick fights with people and be evil. I'm just saying you need to experience the evil. You need to experience it. You need to feel it. You need to understand it. There's a vibration in the universe. There's something that's controlling the world. Your soul is being manipulated. Your physical is being manipulated. Your mind, there's a war on your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. You need to have that yin and the yang. You need to control both sides. Don't just be one or the other. Again, you can't rebel against evil if you're only good. You're just going to be an obedient slave. The Pharaoh had slaves, the Jews, and they would just comply every day. Is that what you want to be? A good, obedient slave? You need to rebel. I rebel against all rulers. No one needs to rule over you. No one. Unless they have nefarious reasons. Good ideas don't require force. Good ideas do not require force. And if someone's forcing an idea on you, there's evil in there. You're not going to be able to see both sides unless you see both sides. Alright, that's enough for this video. We're 50 minutes into this, and I got things I got to do, so it's enough for this video. Maybe there'll be a part 2 on this in the future, and we can talk about more aspects of this. Again, I can go all day with this. I didn't want to just throw information out at you, but I did anyway. I hope you guys got something out of this and understand evil's okay. Don't just rebuke evil. Oh, I saw evil. People are going to have other ideas than you, and that's okay too. It's okay. You need to debate bad ideas with better ideas. And that's what I'm trying to instill in you guys. It's okay to have evil thoughts, but then you got to figure out better thoughts, right? To combat the evil thoughts. All right, this video can get out of hand. That's enough for this video. Stay tuned for plenty more content. It's OPEX. Hopefully you guys like my idea here. And stay tuned for more content. Plenty more coming. See you guys.